Today we are going over how to write a dispute letter that gets results. And we're doing this by going over the checklist. So you see, I've broken down all of my letters that have resulted in extreme deletions and credit score increases, and each of them meet the requirements in this checklist. We're going to go over all 6 steps, and I'll show you exactly what to include in your dispute letters to get the maximum results in the least amount of time. Now, make sure you stay to the end to find out one of my top 3 tactics for getting results. So here is our example letter, and most of this is taken from, just like I mentioned, my top letters that have resulted in extreme results. And as you can see, there are highlighted sections, and we're going to match these to the actual checklist. So take a look at the checklist. We have opener, reason, follow-up, identification, method, and frequency. And if you take a look at the actual letter, you're going to see that I've highlighted 3 different sentences. So just real quick, we have Bobby McBobness, we have his information, including date of birth and social, as well as the bureau. Now, additionally, you can throw in the date on there, but that's pretty straightforward, so I did not include that. So look at the 3 sentences that I've highlighted. So take a look at opener. The opener says it is required to have a request for investigation, reason for investigation, request for a new credit report, and any additional information. So let's go find this on the actual letter. As you can see, sentence number 1 is highlighted. It says, I don't believe that there's been an actual investigation on these accounts and you failed to furnish any documentation that proves that they're reported correctly. Because of this, I need for you to perform an independent investigation and blah, 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 blah. Jump to that last sentence in the first paragraph. I'd like a new report reflecting these changes requested below. And then my second paragraph is additional information. So as you can see, I've requested my investigation. I've given a reason for the investigation because I don't believe that they even did an investigation and I'd like an independent one. I've asked for my new report and I provided additional information. That I'm getting really frustrated because they keep telling me that I'm wrong when I'm sending the information taken directly from the credit report. You see how simple that is? So when you know exactly what to write, it makes it so much easier to target your results. All right. So let's go to the next step. So on the bottom part of the letter, we have the actual accounts that we are disputing. Take a look at the reason checklist. It says we need the action, justifier, reason, and outcome, right? So just as a side note there, I do have a video that's going to be linked at the very end of this video, and it's for the dispute letter magic, where we're going to go into the science behind each part of this formula, all right? And it actually resulted in over 20,000 deletions in 2020. So if you want to check that out, make sure you wait to the end of the video and click on it on the end screen. So let's go back to this. As you can see, just as the top part of the letter, we have things that are highlighted. So we need the action, justifier, reason, and outcome, right? So for capital 1, we're saying delete for inaccuracy because the balance is reported as $22, $25, and $29. I mean, obviously, those are 3 totally different numbers, right? And these are actual reasons taken directly from letters that I've sent out. These are not made up, okay? So delete for capital 1 is going to be our action because it's a justifier. The reason is balance is reported as 22, 25, and 29. Now, outcome is optional. Outcome, I normally only use outcome for late payments. And you're going to see that on the Discover account. So now we have an unknown collection, and I'm saying delete, which is the action for false reporting because the justifier, no furnisher name or address reports, and that is the reason. And you failed to correct this from my first dispute. That's everything that you need to write. There's no additional information that's required, okay? Discover, remove, that's the action, the late payment on June 2020 because, the justifier, it's reported as 30 days late, but Equifax and TransUnion both report that I paid on time. That's the reason. Update the status to reflect that I paid on time. That is the outcome. That's what I want them to do. I told them why I'm disputing it, what I want them to do, which is remove it, and what the outcome should be, that I want them to correct something, okay? Now, let's look at our last one, XYZ apartment collection 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop reporting, that's the action, this account because, that's a justifier, I disputed this on the date of my first dispute, and the notice of dispute was not entered. That's my reason. Within the 30-day time period. Delete for violation of Section 623. Now, I did tell you that I was going to let you know one of my top 3 tactics for removing negative items, and that's a little bit of a hint right there. All right, so let's go to the next step. Now you see that we have met all the requirements for the reasons, the requirements for the opener, and let's check out the other things that you need to know about to get your results. Let's jump over to identification. With every single letter, every single letter, every single time they go out the door, you should be sending a copy of your identification, license or military or passport, social security card or W-2 or something that has your full number listed on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? And proof of address, and know your identification, meaning your license, your state ID, your passport, whatever, that's not proof of address. A birth certificate cannot be used, all right? You're talking about utility bill or cell phone bill or pay stub or bank statement, whatever. Those are proof of address every single time, okay? I see this in the comments all the time. Do I have to send this out every single time? Yes, you do, my friend. Yes, you do, okay? Now, follow up. Every single time that you send out your next dispute, always make sure that you are checking for violations before you send out your letter, okay? Violations not in your letter, but you can use these when you're crafting your action plan, because every single letter has its own action plan, right? Now, look at the response analysis. What is Experian, or what is Equifax, or what is TransUnion sending to you? If they're sending anything, are they saying that they're no longer going to reinvestigate? Are they saying that it's just verified? Are they saying that it's certified as accurate? What are they saying? Because you can use it in your letters when you're crafting your opener, right? Or even your dispute reason. Now, report comparison. What that means is that you need to look at the original report versus your current new report before you write your disputes. The reason, and this is pretty straightforward, but the reason is, number one, you have to make sure that that account is still on the credit report, that it was not deleted. Number two, you're looking for violations. Like I said, it's the notice of dispute on there. Did they certify or verify it as accurate, but did not update the date last reported? Did they change or re-age the date of last activity? So on and so forth. You have to have this new information, right? And then that takes me to the next part. New information. What new information is on your credit report that can be used in your dispute letter? Because that is how you craft factual-based disputes, because you're taking the facts directly from your credit report. Now, method. This needs to go out regular mail or certified, but doesn't have to be certified. I mean, unless you want to spend $21 or more per round, completely up to you. It's not going to make it happen any quicker. I mean, you're paying the post office. You're not paying the bureaus to have a faster, investigation, okay? It needs to be a custom letter. You need to be using factual reasons, and it needs to be consumer authentic if you are a business. Now, frequency. Normally, it's 30 days, right? But if you send something in the middle of the month, they can add 15 days for additional info. Don't send mid-month disputes for the same account, all right? 15 days for obviously what we're currently going through. Now, I know that this recently ended, but they are still taking that additional time, and they can take that additional time, and they're going to use it as an excuse for the second thing that we went over, all right? So always be aware of the timing. Okay, and then add 4 days for that mail sending, all right? And that's really useful if you are not sending out certified mail. Just count 4 days. They should have received the letter. Now you can start your counting. Now you know when to pull your next report. Now you know when to send your next round of disputes, all right? So do you have any questions about this? If you don't understand something, you don't understand how to do factual-based disputes, you don't understand what this checklist is for, you don't understand the 5-part, formula, whatever it is, post it in the comments and I will answer it. I will help you with whatever it is. Okay. Now, as promised, this is one of my top 3 tactics, or my secrets, and it's using the notice of dispute. So one of the fastest ways to get a deletion is to catch the credit bureaus and even collectors in a violation for failure to enter the required notice of dispute. So you see, if it's not reported on the account, like in the comment section within 30 days of receiving the first dispute, it's a violation. I mean, this is actually the magic behind the validation of debt method. Now, I've removed countless countless accounts just using this one violation. It is that important, okay? So always remember that you need to know your violations. And once you know your violations, once you know how an account should be reported, how it should not be reported, then you're putting yourself in the best possible place to get the maximum results in the least amount of time. All right. Now, if you want to learn more, if you want to reach out, then here are two very, very simple links. My740.com will take you to my booking page if you want to see if I can take over your file and do the credit sweep for you. Now, the second link, vault.my740.com, is actually where you can go to get access to the free subscriber hub and a bunch of other awesome resources. Okay. So, anywho, now we are at the end of the video, and like I said, this is actually going to be where you can click on the dispute letter magic video, where we go into the science behind the 5-part formula that generated over 20,000 deletions last year. And make sure to hit that like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and I will see you next time.